Shalom, Kohalo Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakadash, for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. So I did a lesson on this when it came out, I believe 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, about these 5 Jake cops who brutally beat this Jake out in Memphis. And if you've seen the video, it was it was real brutal, man. Like if you it kind of had me and furious, because when you get the backstory, they was saying that it was pretty much over a fucking Edomite bitch, a Edomite woman, man. A Edomite dog. I'll just keep it PG. Well, it was already said, but moving forward. It was pretty mind-boggling to watch, cringing to watch. But this is the hatred that our people have for one another. This is the system that we are under, and a lot of our people have become like the so-called white man, and not have pity on their own people. It don't matter if these dudes was Jakes. It's all about the spirit that's in them, man, and the spirit that they have in them is the spirit of Edom. They said it was over a traffic stop or whatever, but how can somebody get brutally beaten like that? Over a traffic stop. So it had to be something deeper. And the brother's name was Tyree Nichols. As you can see it up there on the top of the screen. And supposedly he was dealing with this Edomite dog, and she was the ex of one of these Jake demons, that pretty much beat him to death. But 3 of them were acquitted. They was found no fault of doing any wrongdoing, pretty much. The 2 others, they pleaded guilty. But for these 3 that got acquitted, you're not going to get acquitted from the Lord, man. The Lord is going to judge you according to what you did. Because we understand that nobody ever perished being innocent. Tyrese Nichols, he wasn't innocent. But you niggas ain't innocent either. So you're going to be judged. So let's play it. I'm going to get some scripts and we're going to shut it down. I don't want this to be too long. Check it out. Yahba Shem Yahushua, willing the elect be edified. Shalom.
Yeah, good evening, Eric. I'm here in North Natomas, where the city of Sacramento actually honored Tyree Nichols by renaming this skate park after him. Now, that was less than 2 years ago, and we heard that verdict today. Now, I spoke with a local activist who fights to prevent violence and also connects.
And it's crazy because Jake is just real flamboyant. And speaking of this Jake, man, he probably dealing with that colorful mess, man. That month of June mess.
The community with law enforcement. He says this doesn't just hurt, it also sends a clear message that even with video evidence, justice isn't guaranteed. Many are outraged across the country and in Sacramento as 3 Memphis police officers were acquitted in the beating death of Tyree Nichols.
Not guilty. Not only that it was a young man from Sacramento that moved to Memphis, but the brutality of it. And I think the most shocking part of it all is we're so used to seeing white officers, right, on, black men or black women. The simple fact that it was 5 black officers.
Axios says the verdict hit even.
Well, it don't matter. Like I said, these niggas, they have become Esau Edom, right? To where they have no mercy on their own people. You get tricked by seeing the skin color, man. Skin color don't mean a damn thing, man. It's all about the spirit, right? That's all it's about, man. And these niggas have the spirit of the devil on them. They have the spirit of Satan on them. They have the spirit of Esau Edom on them, the so-called white man.
Harder because of what it represented. A system that he says still protects bad officers, even in the age of body cameras and video evidence.
When you hear all 7 accounts that those 3 officers was found not guilty, and you're looking at the video, what replays back in my mind is Tyrese Nichols just got killed on video and just got killed in the courtroom all over again. So my heart goes out to the family.
For Axios, who works daily with at-risk youth and victims of violence, this message is disheartening, but not surprising.
Just another slap in the face, a black eye, a very sad day, because it doesn't seem like we're moving the needle anywhere closer to where we would change what policing looks like in America.
Because what Jake got to understand is that America is not for him, man. America is a prison sentence. America is a valley of the shadow of death for Jake, man. Things are not going to get better. It's going to get worse. With the fact that Trump just passed this executive order for giving cops immunity to pretty much put Jake to death, it's more to come. It's more to come, man. And it's going to get more and more, televised, and it's going to be mainstream, and, and it's going to get bloody, man. Because what's going to happen is that Jake is going to get tired of getting slaughtered in the street and nothing happening to nobody. So Jake is going to feel like he's going, I'm going to take the matters into my own hands, man. And these cops, they're going to start getting unalived, man. These cops going to start getting ambushed and put to death. That's just what's going to happen, man. The Lord is putting the spirit in Jake to rise up against the government, right? To rise up against the system, right? Because Jake is slowly but surely realizing that this system is not for him, man. It's not for him. They're not going to get any justice. They're not going to get any no peace. And the scriptures told you. The scriptures tell you, man, that let's get it real quick. In Deuteronomy 28, the curses, man. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 60, 65. And it says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind, man. So Jake is gonna have all of these emotions, right? That's going to leave him sad, battered, bruised, right? Confused until Jake snap, right? Because they're gonna feel like, hey, I got nothing to lose, man. Right? So that's where we headed.
Even with footage showing what happened, he says the verdict raises questions about what it takes to hold officers accountable.
And now we're seeing as diabolical as what we saw in Memphis, that 3 officers get to walk, live the rest of their lives. Tyree Nichols never comes back home. His family's broken. So you're now telling me that even with a video, there is a system that will protect bad police officers?
The city of Sacramento and the Nichols family renamed this skate park after Tyree.
What you see at a skate park and what you saw earlier today is people from different backgrounds coming together in unity for their love of skating. And that really needs to be Tyree's message. He brought everybody together.
Councilmember Lisa Kaplan has paid close attention to the trial since it began.
And my heart sank because to see all officers acquitted, it just shows the...
And trust me, if this would have been 5 white officers, this bitch wouldn't have had nothing to say, man. Right? This damn Sheetamite wouldn't have had nothing to say if it was 5 Edomite cops.
cracks in the failure of our justice system.
Despite many frustrations, Axia says he'll continue to work with police here locally, but moments like this show how far there still is to go.
We have to continue to work with law enforcement regardless of what happened in Memphis. You know, we have things that we're dealing with locally, but with the work that I do, you know, I have to deal with law enforcement on an everyday basis because I deal with so much in my community.
Today.
So, you know, Jake, you know, he still got hope, but ain't no hope here, man. The only hope you got, Jake, is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and Salakia for this damn thing, man. Right, so you had this one, you know, one of these cops, man, they pretty much, it says Martin testifies he was angry, but Tyrese Nichols was not a threat. We know he wasn't a threat, you know, but y'all had that demonic spirit on y'all at the time, you know.
Fearful about what happened the night Tyree Nichols was beaten by police. And the testimony is coming from a former officer who was on the scene that night. Former Scorpion Unit member Emmett Martin was the first officer to see Tyree Nichols in January of 2023.
Today, he took the witness stand in the federal trial of Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith. Our WREG's April Thompson is live at federal court. And April, plenty of people have been waiting to hear what Martin has to say about what happened that night.
They have, especially since now that he is testifying against the other 3 officers. And one thing that we continue to hear Martin say in his testimony, we lied and exaggerated to justify what we did.
Emmett Martin, a former member of the Memphis Police Department Scorpion Unit, describing the deadly encounter that led to the unit's demise.
And Scorpion Unit, man, that's one of them units where you basically got to kill a nigga to get your stripes, to get your ink, to get jumped in. You know? All these law enforcement agencies in every state in America got one, man. Right? To where they can get it's pretty much like a sacrifice. You gotta kill a nigga in order to reach a new height in your career, man. They just got different names for it.
And Tyree Nichols' death. Martin testifying for the prosecution in the federal trial of Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith, laying out how he was the first to see Nichols speed up to make it through a red light and gave chase. Martin admitting he didn't know how fast Nichols was going, but that a chase for a traffic violation was against MPD policy. It would be the first of several policy violations, Martin testified, he and other officers committed that night, describing how he, Demetrius Haley, and Officer Preston Hemphill surrounded Nichols' car, yelling, "Get the expletive out of the car and get on the ground. I'm going to tase your expletive." Martin said Nichols was never resisting and there was no reason to tase him, which Hemphill did. Martin says by the time they caught up with Nichols, who managed to run away, Tadarius Bean and Justin Smith had him on the ground, hitting him with a closed fist. He said Desmond Mills took out his baton and started hitting Nichols 3 times on the arm. And that was against policy since Nichols was not a threat. Martin admitted he should have stepped in, but instead he said, "I punched him in the face 5 times with a closed fist." When asked why he did it, Martin said, "I was mad. I was already on edge prior to even getting there. We tried to get him in custody and it wasn't working. He ran and that's what happened." Martin said Haley delivered a vicious kick between Nichols' torso and head. Martin said he also added to the kicks, saying Nichols' body jerked. He admitted kicking is not a trained police technique. One thing Martin maintained, out of all the officers on the scene, no one told the other to stop or pull back. By the time their Lieutenant Dwayne Smith showed up, he says no one mentioned the punches and kicks they had delivered to Nichols, saying if they did, they would have been charged. Instead, they told him Nichols was high, something they didn't have evidence of, and that he was driving into oncoming traffic and got out of his car swinging. Martin saying they had to justify his actions to justify theirs.
So it shows you, man, how wicked and demonic the whole fucking system is, man, against so-called Negroes, man. Latinos and Native Americans as well. Because they put them to death as well, but they just don't, you know, mainstream it, man. They show what they want to show. But this shows you how they can put Jake to death and then justify it and try to flip shit, right? When they all knew it was a fucking lie, man. And then here it is, 3 cops get off. Right? This is why Yahweh Shem Shah is going to put to death 2/3 of our people, man. And that's 2/3 from every, you know, status or whatever they have in Babylon, man. Whether they're a cop, a judge, a fucking CO, a doctor, don't matter, man. The Lord's going to put to death a lot of you Jakes, man, because you're fucking wicked, man. Wicked as hell. Because they know damn well they would not have done this to a Edomite, man. They wouldn't have did this to a so-called white man, man. They would have been charged. But yet, let's beat, you know, our own brother to death and we'll get off. It's fucking niggas, man. This is why you can't trust niggas, right? If you're not in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you can't be trusted, man. If you of the world and you got an Edomite spirit on you, you cannot be trusted, man. If you in Esau Edom's system and you 10 toes down in it, you cannot be trusted. I don't give a shit if you of my nation, man. You ain't my fucking brother, man. Not on this side. Let's get it again. This is Deuteronomy 28:65. It says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and a sorrow of mind, man. So Jake gonna be fucking depressed, man, from seeing back to back killings of their people unarmed by these cops, man. And Jake gonna lash out. Now this is coming out with already a heightened case with the brother that, you know, put to death that race soldier in Cincinnati, man. From, you know, Cincinnati PD, those damn racist devils killing his son, man. So all this is coming out at the same time to rile Jake up, man. Right? All this is coming out, man. This is all an agenda, man, to get Jake to pretty much, you know, jerk to it, man. To get him set up. So that way this devil can feel justified to mow Jake down some more. Right? Let's get some more, man. Let's get Numbers. Numbers chapter 35. I'm going to start at 16 because these cops, man, these devils, these black devils, they're not going to be acquitted by the Lord, man. The Lord got each and every one of their numbers. Right? This is Numbers chapter 35 and verse 16. It says, and if he smite him with an instrument of iron so that he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. And that's what they did, man. They strike him with an iron weapon, you know, the baton or whatever. You know, they probably was all hitting him with it. Right? Verse 17. And if he smite him with throwing a stone wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. This is in the law. A law that these niggas were supposed to abide by, not the law of these devils, man, and the law enforcement agency, man. Verse 18. It says, or if he smite him with an hand weapon of wood, wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. The revenger of blood himself shall slay the murderer. When he meeteth him, he shall slay him. And who's that? Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah is the revenger of blood, man. So let's just take, for instance, these 5 Jakes. These 5 demons are here when Yahweh Shah returns, man. Yahweh Shah is going to split them in 2. He's going to split them in 2, man. Verse 21. But if he thrust him out of Salakia, but if he thrust him of hatred or hurl at him by land of weight, that he died. So, like I said, this was all over an Edomite chick. Really. One of the cops was dealing with him. He probably was mad. He was hating on him. Whatever. So that's what he did, man. He did this out of hatred and anger. And even this cop, he said, Martin testifies he was angry. These niggas said they was angry, man, for something else. And they took it out on this brother. But like I said, they would never have done that to an Edomite. It says, but if he thrust him of hatred or hurl at him by land of weight that he die, or in enmity, meaning hatred, smite him with his hand that he die. Didn't the Jake say he punched him in his face 5 times? Right? They was punching on him, kicking him, all types of stuff. It says, he that smote him shall surely be put to death, for he is a murderer. The revenger of blood shall slay the murderer when he meeteth him. So that's twice. Yahweh Shah is definitely going to slay these 5 niggas, man. Right? You're going to slay these 5 niggas. And guess what? They're going to want mercy, and they ain't going to get it. They're not going to get it, man. Let's continue.
Martin also testified to a code that was a general understanding. I'm not going to tell on them, and I know they're not going to tell on me. Not going to put them in a situation where they get in trouble. It was an understanding. Basically, we did what we needed to do. I wasn't going to tell on them, and they weren't going to tell on me.
So pretty much, they was watching each other's back, even though they all know they fucked up, man. Right? So that that what is it? That power that they got from being in law enforcement and having that brotherhood, that scorpion brotherhood, right? Amongst them, they felt like, listen, hey, we can do whatever, man. We good. Let's just kill this dude and we good. We got people to back us up. And you can look in this nigga's eyes and tell he's a fucking demon, man. Right?
And Martin saying a lot here in court today. Bear with me, if you will. Martin also testified he gestured for Mills to take off his body camera because he didn't want it to catch what they were saying after the beating, saying it was common practice to remove the camera, leave it running on the car. He'd seen other people do it, so he did the same thing. He also said the assault report the department wrote up for him, since Nichols was trying to take Martin's gun, what he said happened, was also full of untruths, as well as Martin's own response to resistance report, even down to the lack of information they gave dispatch and EMTs and first responders about Tyre Nichols' injuries. They never told anyone what they did. Right now, Martin is still on the stand. He is being questioned by the defense attorneys now. They're bringing out how Martin is getting a substantial assistance in his own case for his testimony here, and how he never mentioned Tyre's first question to officers that night they pulled him out of the car, saying Nichols never told them, saying Nichols did tell them, why y'all always expletive with me. Martin says he didn't mention it because no one ever asked. Reporting live for News Channel 3, I'm April Thompson.
Eye-opening testimony.
And that shows you, man, that these cops, man, these niggas, especially these niggas in the cop in law enforcement. Hey man, they demonic, man. Right? I wanted to get all 5 of them up there, but you know, whatever. I'll take these 3 niggas. You know, so they're gonna get paid back, man. They're not gonna get away with this, man, scot-free. So what? They got acquitted, you know, from these devils, because you know he just killed another nigga. Y'all did a good job, niggas. Y'all killed a nigga. You know, I will let y'all off, whatever. But the Lord sees everything, man, and the Lord is gonna judge you, black ass niggas, man. This is Colossians 3 and verse 25. It says, "But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done." So you did wrong. You know you did wrong. And you're going to receive for that wrong that you have done. And there's no respect of person. The Lord don't care who you are, man. The Lord don't give a damn who you are. Let's get go to Galatians. Shalaki, I got 2 more. We're going to shut it down. This is Galatians chapter 6. Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. It says, "Be not deceived, for Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." So whatever you sow, you're going to get, man. Whatever you put out, you're going to get back. Right? Ain't no respect of person. Let's get 1 John. 1 John, we're going to shut it down with this. 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. It says, no, Salakia, 3. 1 John 3 and verse 15. It says, "Whoso hateth his brother is a murderer. And ye know that no murderer have eternal life abiding in him," man. Right? So, you know, it's pretty much done for these niggas, man. Right? It's pretty much done for them. Because, you know, they pretty much unalive. They put this brother to death for no apparent reason, man. Right? For no apparent reason. Because they were angry. and they just figure they could take out their anger on their own people. This is how Jake is, man. Jake is fucking weak. This nigga is weak, man. These Jakes are fucking weak out here. And the Lord gonna get rid of all you weak ass niggas. So I'm gonna leave it there, man. Y'all B'Hashem Al-Shah willing to elect me other Father. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushua, B'Hashem Rakah Kadash for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. To the next lesson. Shalom.